Hello everyone and welcome to Season 7, Episode 41 of Pro Wrestling's Top 50. I'm your host Travis McNeil, and today we continue our countdown of the top 50 matches in CHIKARA history as we enter the top 10 with match number 10 on our list, which is the tag team match between Mike Quackenbush and Manami Toyota against the BDK duo of Claudio Castagnoli and Sara Del Rey from the CHIKARA Savage Progress Cuts the Jungle Line event held on September the 19th of 2010. This match is designed all about honoring Manami Toyota, the Joshi legend, the All Japan Women's legend. This was, her being brought to the U.S. by CHIKARA. I've talked about it before. I've mentioned, Manami in the tag match from King of Trios weekend in 2012. CHIKARA did such a wonderful job at spotlighting Joshi Pro Wrestling, Manami Toyota, Miko Satomura, and all of the legends that came through, that maybe, didn't really get the notoriety in the spotlight, in the Western circles that they did, in their native country of Japan, but were such an influence on a guy like Mike Quackenbush and so much of the CHIKARA roster. So this was, Toyota's kind of, U.S. debut coming in for CHIKARA. They had her actually wrestle the previous night in a singles match against Daisy Hayes. Shout out Daisy Hayes, somebody that, was kind of a lost legend of independent women's wrestling, but she was so great. She got to work up Manami in a singles match that was really, really great, well worth watching. But this was the big tag match in, a super hot crowd in Brooklyn that was pumped to see Manami Toyota. The crowd is so hot for this match, and it just makes it even better. And I remember at the time when they announced this match, I wouldn't necessarily say disappointed, that's not the right word, but being kind of shocked that they didn't do the singles with her and Sara, and instead they did the singles with her and Daisy. But ultimately, I feel like it ended up, for the better. Sara would have a singles match with Miko Satomura when she was brought in that would kind of fall short of expectations. In this match, with the tag, in hindsight, I really think it was the right way to go. Manami, kind of had some jitters, maybe, I don't know, some off moments, we'll say, in this match, where in a singles it maybe could have fallen apart. But here you had Claudio and Quack being the glue that held this match together and were really able to accentuate Manami and really kind of put forth, this budding feud, budding grudge she had throughout the match with Sara, and it was all the better for it. This match, you get, all of your typical Quack and Claudio greatness. They have great exchanges and fast-paced sequences, and Claudio takes the monkey flip onto his face, which he will. So lots of good stuff there, as to always be expected from those two. But this match is really about, like I said, presenting Manami Toyota as an absolute legend and, having her go toe-to-toe with Sara. And they do such a good job with that throughout the match. There's a spot really early on where, Toyota kind of comes in, for her first, tag into the match. And she does, a really quick kind of lucha-style arm drag off the ropes, very fitting being in CHIKARA. And Sara just ends up nailing her with a backdrop driver and then just beats her down. And I really, really love that, Sara basically showing, like, yeah, I'm the bad one here. I'm the big, Joshi star. I'm the big women's wrestler in CHIKARA. You're in my world now, and I'm gonna beat you down worse than Naja Khan did. So I really, really dug that, as kind of being the introduction to Manami there. She comes back though. She gets a Moodalock at one point, and Sara, claws at her face. And I absolutely loved kind of what they did here. Where, Toyota gets the revenge and, puts Sara in a camel clutch and, starts clawing at her face and turns it to Claudio so Claudio could see. Then that leads to Claudio later on, putting Quack in a camel clutch and raking at his face in front of Manami. So kind of building up, this beef between them as well, which was really, really good stuff. Manami, she plays face in peril for a little bit here, gets beat down. They kind of turn it around where Quack gets beat down a little bit. We get, signature offense kind of littered throughout. Manami gets to play the hits. She gets a big crossbody to the floor, and she hits, those great Joshi-style, missile drop kicks from the top. There's at one point when she hits Sara with a bunch of them consecutively, both to the front and the back, which was really, really great. But this match really, really heats up late into it. Where we get, this big rally, this big comeback from the faces. We get, all of these double downs and strike exchanges and all of this stuff you would expect from a really big time tag match. We end up getting the big showdown between Claudio and Manami. Claudio actually hits her with the giant swing, and then Manami ends up making him pay and getting a little bit of revenge when she takes him around the ring with a rolling cradle, which was really, really good stuff. There's an awesome moment where Quack tries to cascade into a sunset flip on Claudio, and he counters it with a big power bomb. And then Manami tries to do the same thing, and instead of the power bomb, she floats over the top into a code red on Claudio, which was super, super cool. Sara, ends up getting the pile driver, which was her finish at the time on Manami, and you get the big spot of Manami doing, the Joshi bridge up out of the pin, which was really good. But then she gets blasted by a pump kick from Claudio, and giant swung into a drop kick from Sara for 2. They end up hitting a spike pile driver on her for 2. Quack breaks that one up. So just really, really building into the near falls and making this feel like a big time, super indie tag bout, with the crowd completely into it, and just really high level, high end stuff, making this one of the best matches in not only in CHIKARA history, but especially one of the best tag matches in CHIKARA history, which in a promotion, known for its tag team championships, its Campeonatos de Parejas. It's wild to me that some of the best tag matches CHIKARA ever had weren't for those titles, this being one of the primary ones. Quack gets in his moments too. He gets a big Dragon Rana for a great near fall at the end. He locks Sara in the CHIKARA special, or Claudio in the CHIKARA special, one of them, and eats a bunch of boots, no selling them. Both men ended up tumbling to the floor, and that leads us with Manami and Sara in for the big finish together. Manami hits a big moonsault. That only gets 2. They do a doomsday kind of palm strike from Quack and do the ocean cyclone suplex. That gets broken up only for 2. And finally, Toyota's able to put Sara away, hits her with the Queen Bee bomb, pardon me. And then, a super fitting ending, locks her in the CHIKARA special. It's Manami Toyota in CHIKARA, a very fitting ending, and that gets her the tap over Sara Del Rey. I really loved this match. It's super exciting. Quack has a little bit of a track record of bringing in, some of his idols throughout wrestling history to team with him. We would see him do that later on with Jushin Thunder Liger. I personally have no problem with that. If he's the one that's kind of fronting all of it, why not? Why not get to wrestle with your idols? It's pretty cool. But like I said, this was a match that at the time I thought, why are they doing a tag? But it worked out all the better for it. Just a super hot, super memorable match. Manami Toyota would go on to kind of be, somewhat of a CHIKARA staple. They would bring her in, multiple times as this great special attraction. They would do the big Joshi Mania events that, in a way, rumors are that kind of led to that long break for CHIKARA, before the whole relaunch of the company, because they lost a lot of money on that Joshi Mania, triple shot weekend. Whether that was the case or not, I don't know. That's far beyond, what I should even be privy to. But, again, like I said, CHIKARA, to me, when I think back on it and what it represented, I think this wonderful melting pot of all of these different styles of wrestling and all of these different promotions all coming together and being spotlighted and championed, by the promotion that's CHIKARA, and just creating these magical moments for their fan base, for their crowd, and for the wrestlers on their roster, getting to work with all of these legends. That's exactly what this match was. No doubt a dream come true for Sara Del Rey, to be in this match, a dream come true for Quack, and I'm sure for Claudio as well. Super memorable tag match. I love it. You can watch it, of course, on independentwrestling.tv. It's also available for free on CHIKARA's YouTube channel, so I'll link that on my Twitter. You can subscribe to my channel here on YouTube so that you never miss a video. Follow me over on Twitter and Instagram as well at Wrestling50. And please join me again next time as we continue to count down Pro Wrestling's Top 50.